So in this segment, we'll be continuing the work on drawing 8, orthographics, and 3D, starting with, now we'll move on to object D, which is on worksheet 7, and you would have done it in pencil, and this is the solution of it done in AutoCAD for you to sort of visually remember. But and then I've imported this part of this drawing over into a regular AutoCAD drawing that we can use now to draw our 3 orthographic views. And that is your object D. So I already put in these guidelines, a quarter, it's a 0.25 or 1 grid in from the edges, and I drew these boxes according to the instructions. They're 4.5 wide by 3 tall, and we'll just start here in the lower left where the A is on the front, and we'll realize that the front view is going to be made up of that surface, which is vertical to our eye, so it'll be the true shape that we draw. And then it has this foreshortened plane. It leans back, and this lower part of it is 5 wide, and then the vertical component of that edge, the vertical component of that edge is just 1 grid, so it looks bigger than it is. And then it continues up here, and this vertical component is also 1 vertical. It's just this 1 grid vertical. So although it looks big, it goes back to this, on this edge, it goes back to, that would be the D component of that edge, and the Y component, or the height, would be these 2 vertical boxes. And the whole box is really only 3 tall, so it looks a little taller than it is when we draw it. So we'll just start with our grid on, and we'll go to our visible layer, and start the line command with an L, and I'm going to draw that horizontal edge 5 over, 1 up, and that's that lower face down here. And then we'll do another edge over here. It's 5, and it goes up 1 on the vertical. That's that foreshortened business. And then it comes back over 3, and then it goes up 1 on the vertical, even though it's foreshortened again, and comes over 2 on the W on the width, and then it comes down 2 vertical, corresponding to the vertical change on that line. So that's the front view. And then we have a little bit of hidden, there's a fold right here, behind this piece here is a crease right here where this wall continues. This little face here continues. It continues all the way over to this point on that axis and then up. So we have a little vertical line that comes down. It will be coming down 2. It's as tall as this line here. It's as tall as that edge. And so I can just switch over here to hidden and start a line with the L command, and we'll turn on our grid and help us draw. So that's that. There's that little bit of hidden line. We'll go back to visible, and let's do the right hand side of this now. So I'm moving over 1 grid to start that this will be the depth, right? This is the width, this is the height, that's the overall height, and this will be the depth. So when I'm looking at our orthographic view over here, our isometric view, our depth component is just 1 grid for this wing that sticks out here. And then it continues 1, 2, 3. So it's a total of 4 deep. And you could have noticed that also by looking at your projector. You could have known that it's 4 deep on the bottom, and it's a total of 3 deep, 3 tall. And we should trim the line between those two. We get to turn over grid. And so that's sort of the outer limits of it. And then we gotta figure out what's going on with that foreshortened slope. So when we look at this, we know that it comes over 1 and then it goes up 2 right there. So I'm going to draw that in. And then it comes back and down 1 each. So it look like that. That's that little edge right there. And then from here, the edge that our eye sees on the right side view, we see this, the projection of this plane. We see that as a line that's going back 1 and up 1. So it's continuing with the same pitch as the lower part. And then it hits this part here, and it goes over 2. So you can just edit this a little bit. Again, turn off my snaps. Snaps. What is going on here? Let's just draw, right? Sometimes it's easier just to draw. And I want to have all 1 line, so I'm going to finish that like that. So that's that edge there. Now, I don't think there's anything hidden. There's no folds behind the front face that I see. So I think we're good on hidden lines. But we need to come up. Now we know that the width of the top view is the same as the overall width, is the same as the overall width of the bottom view. So I'm going to put that in there. And then we know that this dimension here, the D, the depth, is shared up here. So we can actually just draw that same distance 4. And so that gives us the outer dimensions of our object top surface. So we'll just, now we're looking over here on this view, we're looking at the top of that surface right there. And it goes back 1, so and that would be this part of it, right? It goes back 1. So it has a line that starts here, 1 back from that front edge that goes over 3, and then it goes back 1 and over here. That is how this looks to your eye when you're looking at it straight down from the top, right? Because this is all foreshortened. It's only 2 grids on the D axis. It's really not very deep. It just looks bigger than it is. When you see this view, it looks bigger than it is. It's very compact, really. Now, the outer edges of this does not include this area over here, right? We have sort of a big gap over there, a little patio, so to speak. And so we're just going to finish the top view with this little, it's actually a square. And get rid of that. Have the top view looking something like that. So there you have your 3 orthographic views for the object D, sheet 7. Now we're going to carry on with this in the next video and start making the 3D graphics.